Do stand by for press review now. Okay, welcome again. It's time for us to bring you the newspaper headlines and the program, Press Review, looking at the papers that are here, the stories on the front pages. But I'm not going to do that alone. I have gentlemen that have joined me this morning to look at that. They are Engineer Tony Anebwe. He is a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning. That number I can.
Okay, welcome. And then Imandi Ezenago is a public affairs analyst also. Good morning, Iman.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, where do we start? Okay, let's get straight to the papers now. Waiting for the website news to come. The first paper this morning is the Daily Sun newspaper, where we'll have so many stories making the rounds. But we are going to take major stories to be able to reach out to other papers. The banner headline here says, as progressive governors deny forcing out Adamu, APC share opposition mounts over consideration of Ganduje. Okay, let's look at the riders. Party's vice chair, Northwest, describe it as suicidal and insensitive, okay? And then North Central stakeholders vow to stop former Kano governor. Wow. Ame Ibute joins race. Okay, but beside the net template, we have the story that says court orders TSS to allow Kano access to doctors and medical records. Okay, Senate tells TCN to halt tender for electricity meters. Reps asked NEC not to approve tariff hike. Okay. Troops kill terrorists, bandits in ground air operations. Reps ask CBN to explain transactions on an excess crude account. Allah uncovers 2,500 ghost workers. I think they want to say Abia or whatever. They said they wrote earlier here. Okay. Non-existing school, dead persons in Benue Sparrow. Okay, it's earlier. I think it's a place in Benue State. Okay. All right, thank you very much. Let's look at other papers. The New National Star is our next paper this morning. Former APC National Chairman and Secretary not forced to resign, says Uzodinma. And then palliatives, NEC dumps Buhari's social register, says it lacks credibility. Let's say that's the two stories we're taking from this paper. The next paper is the Daily Times. Resurfaced again. Okay, reopen can of worms on CBN's handling of excess crude oil. Am I missing something here? Okay, Reps opens can of worms on CBN's handling of excess crude monies. Okay, let's look at the riders, still very tiny. Reports reviewed unapproved indiscriminate withdrawals from excess crude accounts. And then consistently rebuffed inquiries by Auditor General of the Federation. The last one says, huge sums missing. Okay. We have seen the story down here. Ministerial list, nothing from presidency yet. This is coming from Ume. So all these ones that are flying around, it's just speculations. Okay, the Punch newspaper, subsidy removal. Governors plan cash transfers to poor households, dump Buhari's list. with some riders there. States to compile new social registers. Governors to spend FAC allocations on scheme. And then Tinubu approves infrastructure fund. NEC adopts gas-powered vehicles for states. Why you drink your oil? All right, Jam Sega. Soludo sends Mesoma on 3-month psychotherapy. Okay, that's all coming from here. Okay, okay, the papers are still there. I was thinking we can take all of them together and then start up. First of all, let's look at the ones that we have looked at before we forget what they're saying. Daily Sun newspaper, the banner headline there, as all progressive governors deny forcing Adamu out. Who forced them out is the story, Tony. APC chair position mounts over consideration of Ganduje.
Well, the issue of forcing people out, and I'm sure, I don't know whether there is still what we call rule of the game, because I know very well that in decent society, people resign when they are no longer popular in the institution where they are operating, both government and non-governmental. If the former APC national chairman feels the pressure, or let me say the sentiment, people no longer want him there, maybe for one thing or the other, common sense would demand that he will on his own resign. In Nigeria's system, why this is happening this way is that it is very hard for anybody to resign, especially when they are in the government offices. So the speculation is that there must have been pressure on him to resign. Whoever mounted the pressure must be somebody or some people who are higher in position, whose words count. And it is still under speculation whether he was forced to resign or not. But the most important thing is that he's no longer there. He has pulled out, thrown in the towel, and
not just him, the secretary too.
Okay, yes, of course, and the secretary too. So the what remains now is not crying over, I will call it crying or jubilating. I don't know which one is, whether they are crying or they are jubilating. But the most important thing now is who replaces him. So, and like you've seen, there is already pointer to Ganduje, and there is also already opposition to that, which is normal in every human circumstance or situation. What I wish APC and their struggle and their battle is to get somebody that will man that office and do better job, fair play, democracy. Internal democracy is the most important thing in a political institution, so that people's voice will count and let the majority be the people that decide, and not by minority imposition. So whatever, Amme Ebute is also said to have joined the race. So finally, let APC do the needful and put a better person. That's my view there.
Okay, I was actually thinking, because somebody was talking about zoning, I was actually thinking that since the Southwest has taken the presidency, the Northeast or wherever taking the vice president, the chairman of that party should have come from the Southeast. Or what do you say?
You don't know, there's a problem in Nigeria. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Nigeria operated 3 regional system before, and later got it to 4. And then finally, we have 6 zones now. But do you know that what Nigerian system is calling zoning is just north and south?
The north and the south.
No,
when it favors them.
God, certainly, when it favors them.
Okay, when it's not favoring them, let's say, because they go north and south poles.
North and south.
But when they want to get more, they go 6.
They go 6. So it is natural, or rather, common sense would demand that we look at zones, considering we have already gotten 6 zones. If we are operating 6 geopolitical region,
which is not constitutional anyway.
Yes, okay. If that one is not constitutional, so is this south and north and south that is constitutional? Okay, so that is what the issue now is. The presidency is from the south, So the party chairman should go to the north. That's what I believe they are doing.
All right, thank you. Still on this matter, Imandi, I was watching the one APC store was being interviewed yesterday on this Adamu and the secretary's issue. And then the young man was asked, is there any possibility that these two gentlemen were forced out by pressure from the political party or the party stalwarts? And then the guy said no. And then when the interviewer now asked him, okay, judging from the role he played during the primaries when he was outrightly supporting Lawal, the former Senate president, don't you think that might be the reason why he's being punished? Now the guy said, yes, he deserves to be punished because he didn't really do well then. So now, where are we going to pin it that this is where what happened is coming from, considering the resignation of Adamu and then the secretary?
You know, when it comes to political party affairs, especially the APC, most of the problem that they have are their former governors. Because most times, when they are done with their 8-year or 4-year tenure, they come into the party to bring misunderstanding in one way or the other, because they are no longer in power and they want to be relevant in the party. So I believe that the people that conspired and forced him, to me, I'm seeing it as a force, him and his secretary to resign, where it was because he never supported or agreed for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to claim the presidential ticket of APC. And now, the person that they are propelling to be the chairman is the immediate past governor of Kano State, Ganduje. So that is, and it has come to what I would say, that most of the problem that APC has are their former governors.
Okay, are you saying that it's the governors that are now rallying around Ganduje to represent him, or for all the governors from the, for all the men that are coming from the north, as supposing that the chairman must come from the north, must it be Ganduje that has a lot of controversies over his head?
To me, Ganduje is not even supposed to be, they're not even supposed to bring him to the table at all. He was a former governor of Kano State, and to some extent, he didn't do well. To some extent, he never valued the lives and properties of the citizens of Kano State. So bringing him to be the national chairman of APC is is their party affairs. They already know what they want or what they will do, but they should leave it to the members of this political party. Let it not be hijacked from the top.
No problem. It's a party affair, but whatever decision they take, because they are the ruling party, that's why we are discussing it. Because whatever decision they take in the party, they bring it to the governance and then it gets to us. Okay, let's move on now. Let's leave APC and their wahala and then get to the one that concerns us directly. Okay, from the National Star, we have this story that says palliatives. NEC dumps Buhari's social register, says it lacks credibility. Yes, from the meeting they had yesterday, they're talking about the palliatives. They started with the 8,000 naira something, and then when they now hiked the what they call the fuel pump price to 617, perhaps Tinubu now said no, let's review this, and they came up with this one yesterday, telling the state governments, since we're going to share so much money that are accruable from the palliative, so why don't you start instituting what they call social welfare, something to get to the people and not just leaving it to the federal government to do. Yeah, Tony.
Actually, you see, like I've said before, one issue that we have in this country is what we call how to define federation. Okay? In a federation like is being practiced in other federal states across the world, there are certain things federal government should not veer into. There are certain things that should be left to federating units to carry out, to do. Certain social services, certain services, national services. We seem to have concentrated attention on the federal government, even in ministry. There are ministries that should not even operate in the national level. Okay, so I don't see why federal government should be the agency, the level that will be dispensing palliative or social services to people when you have states and local government. So it ought to be that way. It ought to, if it is to be said that even our district level, that's the local governments are functioning, it will get down to the local government to dispense these social amenities, so and not the state government, so that it will actually get to the people. Okay. So it is a very good one saying states should handle it. Then on the other side is the register that was compiled previously. Everybody knew that the compiled register was faulty. So there is need for it to be looked into and then start a new register. I don't know how they even, the situation that led to that register was, in fact, it makes it impossible for Nigerians to actually be taken care of.
Have you seen the register? Is your name there?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying, because I don't know whether my name is not even there. I don't know whether I'm Nigerian or not.
Okay, you have not seen the register, so you are not sure. You are not sure that your name is
because nobody asked me for any data.
Okay, that's it. Okay, so, but let's look at this case. Okay, apart from the register and the palliative something, do we really need palliative? That's where I'm coming from now. Mm-hmm. So what if we do, what kind of palliative do we need? Judging from what they said, they were going to give 12 million households, whatever, it's 8,000. And I asked them, I've stayed 1 week in Oka and I have bought fuel for 22,000. I'm going back to this, so I'll buy the one that I'll buy today. Yeah. So what is 8,000 going to do in a family?
Thank you.
What do you, in essence, what do you expect the federal government to do instead of this so-called palliative thing?
Good. This is a very nice question. You see, in our system, there are a lot of areas that need to be looked into. Let me give you an example. There are states that are owing people their gratuity today. You've not paid them. They are suffering. Okay? They are suffering. They are managing the little pension that you are giving them to sustain them. And then everything is now on the high rise. How are they surviving? So when you talk about this palliative, I don't think that is what will solve Nigerian problem. We have to look at the fundamental problem that are affecting families and start there. Like we talk about transportation now, fuel is so high. How many states in Nigeria can talk about mass transit? Mass transit that can take people around their state, interstate transport.
Bayelsa has ventured.
Good. So things like that should be looked into. Then health-wise, how much are people spending on the health services? It is when you have done this thing, take the cost to a barest minimum, pay people what government is owing them, take care of social amenities like I mentioned, health, water supply, and
pay living wage.
Pay wages that will sustain the family.
Training their children in the higher institutions. Good. As you are increasing all these social amenities. Yes. They are also increasing school fees in the higher institution, in the secondary school, and everywhere. And the salaries are stagnant.
People are to pay 200%
30,000 naira minimum wage of how many years ago? And everything has gone past the salary. Good. Yet you are still increasing and nothing is
affecting. And then how much are you going to increase this palliative?
8,000 naira that cannot cook a pot of soup.
How much are you going to increase this palliative to solve this problem? Even if you say pay people 10,000, 20,000 palliative, what will it, 20,000, how many days will it go in paying for, in buying fuel for a family?
And then,
so it is not an issue of palliative. We have to look at fundamental problems of the society, the economy. How is it affecting people? And then pay people what you owe them so that they will be able to see how they can balance.
Okay. Yeah, you wanted to come in, Imani.
Yeah, and the funny part of this palliative is that we have to borrow for the palliative about 500 billion.
No, are they borrowing? I think they say it's the money that's they saved from the oil subsidy, removal of the oil subsidy.
And they say that we will still borrow another. They say that they saved in the past 1 month 400 billion was saved. And there is a proposal to borrow about 500 billion. So if 400 billion naira was actually saved, as they said, why don't they use it to make at least one refinery function in Nigeria? Because to make a refinery function we already have some refineries already, but just that they are not functioning. So it won't cost more than 400 billion to make that refinery to function. And we are still buying oil. What we produce, we still export and import it back. So if the refineries should function, the fuel price will come down. And you know that one of the reasons why there is always hike in so many things is that this oil is the major means whereby most people get it, because once there is high in fuel price, transportation itself increases. Food products in the market increases automatically because you have to get them from wherever places to. So the only thing is that another one of the things that they should do is make our refineries to functional and then invest more in agriculture. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Talking about refineries, Tony, if all this palliative they're talking about is invested in making our refineries work, don't you think it's going to touch our lives positively? Because virtually everything we do now, apart from what they have approved yesterday, that the state governments are free to go on CNG. So what do they want to do with their oil? Drink it?
You see again, there are cabals that are up there that have invested so much money out there building refineries in other countries. That's why they are sabotaging making our own refineries to work. Because they have invested money, many of them are still in government, many of them are the power brokers, many of them are the sponsors of these governments. That's why it's becoming a fair cry every time we talk about our refineries. What's difficult in putting our refineries back into function? What's difficult in it? Well, there's no difficulty. The problem is that the political will to do it. The money is there. But why is it good for somebody to sell what you have and import what
and buy it
back? Is it reasonable? Is it sensible? Can somebody even phantom that as something? Must it be an issue? Must it be an issue, self? Which country does that?
I wonder why they have made that area.
So the reason is not too far. The reason is that our politicians have invested money in most countries around the world, and they are taking the oil to those areas, and what we are paying, what is being paid in the name of this subsidy is the subsidizing of the cost buying the fuel at international market and international price. That's what they are subsidizing, so to say, or what they told us they were subsidizing. But the truth is that there is no need for us to sell our oil and buy finished product. And no sensible government does that anywhere in the world. So you cannot quantify the gains in putting one or two refineries to function. 400 billion naira can put, I don't know whether even build a brand new refinery. You understand? Do you remember what this billion is all about?
I don't know.
So there is no way the issue is that Nigerians are no longer looking in that direction. Because we know that they will not do it.
They will not do
They will not do that because it is like cutting them from their businesses.
I don't understand. What do they even want to do with all this money? What?
Very soon we'll enter to the Mother Earth.
Okay, the Daily Times. Okay, talking about our oil money and the excess crude. Reps oppose can of worms on CBN's handling of excess crude monies. Okay, they even have excess, from what that's supposed to be there. But somebody was asking, if we have this crude oil and we have refineries that are refurbished, and then you just get crude oil from where it is and then put it to the refinery, refine it and start selling, we'll be talking about increase in dollar. That's this oil because that was the excuse they gave us, NNPC gave us, that why they increased it to 617 is because the dollar has risen, and then the oil international market has also increased, so that is what is affecting us. When we have crude oil to refine, have refineries to refine it and then use it within ourselves. Okay, so what exactly do you think REPS is coming up with? Amanda, I'm coming to you. REP opens can of worms on CBN's handling of excess crude oil. Somebody was even asking who is going to answer this question because we don't have a CBN governor now. Yeah.
You know, coming to this crude oil of a thing, in crude oil, you can get about 17 extracts from it. And the funny part of it is that when we export, or rather when we sell this crude oil, when they remove the 17 extracts, they only give us one, which is fuel. In crude oil, you get fuel, you get gas, you get kerosene and other ones.
Diesel.
Even diesel. So the CBN should know, because even if there is excess in this CBN, I believe that the former Minister for Petroleum, who also doubled as the former president of Nigeria, should also be someone to answer that, because he was the president and at the same time the Minister for Petroleum. Then the Minister for State Petroleum, Silva Timpere, should also be able to answer that.
Okay, Minister of State?
Yes, Minister of State Petroleum. So these are the people that they should summon, because there is no way such transaction would take place without their knowledge.
That's the kind of, the level of impunity that we see in this country.
That
reports, is that from that story, so the reports revealed unapproved
spending,
indiscriminate withdrawals from the excess crude account. Who is doing the withdrawal?
That's why the CBN should answer that question, because all this money goes to the consolidated revenue account.
And then this issue that has come up now, before you know it, everything will go down. You won't hear about it again.
After this weekend, you won't hear it again.
And the business continues as usual.
Because even at the asphalt we are using to build our roads also come from crude oil.
Crude oil, yeah.
And we are only concentrating on petroleum product, on petrol. Like my brother said, what about the other extracts that come when they take it out there? We are also buying them, because when we build our road, construction of roads, we buy also bitumen, asphalt, we buy them. Okay? So all these things are where the excess crude oil money comes from. All of this money that are not, Nigerians don't even know how they are, in fact, that they even exist. So they gather somewhere, share the money, withdraw money unapprovedly, and then spend it.
And they only talk of
and then CBN should tell us who and who authorized the withdrawal and into which account where those money put. Yeah, there's so much to talk about in this.
What do you expect when the heads of institutions are politicians, card-carrying members of political parties? Okay, ministerial list, nothing from presidency yet. And I think we have run 3 months, May, June, July, okay, and then no ministers yet. And I don't know, somebody was talking yesterday that this inability of the president to raise his ministers is making the government illegitimate. But I know that we had the same problem when Buhari came in for 6 months, almost 6 months. We never saw any minister, and he ruled for 8 years. Imande, I'm coming to you.
Yes, nothing from presidency yet. The comment came from Ume, who happens to be the current Anambra Central Senator. The senator representing the people of Anambra Central. He's in the Senate, Once the president lists out the people that he has appointed as the Senate, as ministers, to be the ministers rather, he brings them to the Senate for approval. I believe that the senator was speaking on the fact that they've not seen any list yet. And at the same time, it is so abhorring that a leader will stay for up to 3 months without appointing the people that he will work with or that will work with him.
Maybe he didn't know he was going to win.
How? Why? If you are coming up for leadership, you should state out your plans. If you are coming up for any leadership position, you must have stated out your plans. Yes, that you will do this in this period of time, this at so time. You plan yourself, because at the end of the day, it's still one person that will win that won. So since he has won, the few appointments that we got were just the chief of staffs, the SGF, and service chiefs. We are the ones that. So he's taking the time is being, or I don't know if he's taking time to scrutinize them, or we can't tell.
I don't think that the issue is not submitting a list. To me, what I feel is that the list has been submitted to the leadership of the Senate. But there are people, because I don't. What you normally see in Nigeria is, once a list is submitted, the assembly, the parliamentarians will just, because they don't want to be seen to be against the executive or the president or even the governor, they will just approve that list. So I think what's happened is that the list has been submitted to the leadership of Senate, but there is certain people, they are inside trying to scrutinize that list to remove some people. What is happening there is the battle to remove some people or add some people, or even some people's name that are there may not even say, okay, let me take, for instance, somebody's name might be there and it's not even interested. You will say, I will not want to be in this.
Do they have any right to remove anybody's name?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Before screening?
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's the Senate.
What is normally called screening in Nigeria doesn't work. They don't screen anybody. They don't. I've not seen any person that was. In fact, if there was maybe one or two, have said after visiting the assembly, and they will say it's not approved. So what they normally do is to give them blanket approval. Okay. But if they are, so in other words, if there are people they don't want in that ministerial list, this is the period to remove the person. And this is what I think is happening. What Ume is saying is that it has not appeared in the floor of the Senate. But I want to tell you that the National Assembly is likely, the leadership is likely with that list.
Okay. Let's look at the rest of the papers, though they're all saying the same thing. NEC, okay, from the Nation newspaper. NEC, okay, subsidy paying cash for poor workers and SMEs, others. NEC, okay, subsidy paying cash for poor workers, SMEs, and then others. What else do we have coming from the Nation newspaper? Tinubu creates infrastructure support fund for states. Okay, we have seen it. And then from Guardian newspaper, Hajj 2023, tears, complaints, trail Nigeria's 304 billion naira capital flight to Mecca. Wow. Hajj 2023, tears, complaints, trail Nigeria's 304 billion naira capital flight to Mecca. Let's look at other stories. 4-day-old survives as couple children die from generator fume in Anambra. Always in the news for the bad. Okay, NNPCL in major mega amid race for profitability. NNPCL in major amid race for profitability. NEC jettisons Buhari's social register over integrity concerns. And then, do we still have any story coming from here? With 1 week left, Tinubu's ministerial list fails to surface at Senate. I don't think there's any list here. It's okay. The last paper this morning is the Nigerian Tribune. NEC dons Buhari's national social register. Okay. That's all. Like I said, the papers are just saying the same thing. It does appear there's not much to talk about from these papers. But then there's this story in Ghana that I want us to look at, and then PCL in major amid race for profitability. Who are they merging from? Somebody once asked that we don't understand what we are doing with the NNPC. We'll have a major story, a major issue in the country. The NNPC will come out to defend their ground, defend the executive's ground, and even the legislature's ground. Sometimes the judicial aspect of the whole issue, like the increase they made without any kind of discussion, without any kind of permission. They just wake up in the morning and then adjusted the pump price. As somebody was asking, and the presidency has not said anything since then. Okay? Is it NNPC that we voted for Tony? Are they now the presidency that we used to know?
A good question. The problem lies on the people, we the people, because we have developed ourselves to a point where in fact, where is NLC? Where are other unions that should be asking many questions to the authority?
NLC chairman is in the U.S.
Okay, so somebody, of course, long before now, we have known to be a nation that we suffer and we laugh, suffering and smiling. That's what Nigeria is all about. And our leadership have taken that for granted.
I thought you wanted to say that we are the citizens, the poor masses are known to be children in the orphanage, motherless babies.
Well,
motherless babies, nobody is talking for them.
Because we have not scratched somebody's face one day. So the problem, like I said, is that nobody, we are living in a society where we take anything, we accept anything, we only talk about it after a few moments. In fact, our leadership have accepted that this is the type of population we have, a docile society. Okay, you are even talking about NNPC and their autocracy, because they are now the people that are running this government, like you asked the question. It is supposed that the NLC should be accountable to certain people, the National Assembly, the presidency, and also what's not. But today they do whatever they like. There is procedure for increase in pump price of fuel. If possible, you will even have to even decide when people are buying the fuel by themselves. Are you even going to tell them how much? Is NNPC in the right position to even say this is the pump price? Okay, then let's look at what we talk about. Tears, complaints, Nigeria's 304 billion naira capital flight to Mecca. Why should government continue to fund pilgrimages? Why should government put their money in people that want to pray? How much are they paying even traditional religionists when they go do their own prayer? Why should you raise people and give them money to go and pray? Is it what Nigeria should be doing at this point in time? So these are things that when you look at it, you see that I don't know where. In fact, when I look at the faces of Nigerian leaders, I don't want to use words that somebody will say derogatory. But when I look at their faces, I don't see intelligence, because intelligence reflects on people's faces. So, okay, what we have are people that just battle to be there and then to siphon public money into their pockets, no matter how it pains the public. Even the public that is being paid don't complain much. In the next few minutes or 1 hour, we forget, because Nigerians are used to forgetting a lot of things. Tomorrow another one will come, we talk and talk and talk, and we forget it, and it will stay there. So there are a lot of questions that we Nigerians should ask ourselves. Are we really living like human beings? Are we being treated like human beings? Is there anything we can do that we have not done? Or is it an offense to be born in Nigeria? Because a lot of things, I've said this on several forums, every day the government comes out with something that will hurt the people. I have not seen a way. In fact, government is put in place in defiance to the primitive way of government is put in place to use the commonwealth of the people to make life meaningful and enjoyable to the people. Are we enjoying this our own Nigerianness? Everybody is somebody will wake up and say there is no nation that people have don't suffer to progress. Have we not suffered enough? I don't know. My children will no longer even know by now that government is meant to do something good for the people, because from the time they were born, almost 30 years now, they've not seen good. They've not wake up in the morning and see smile on the faces of people. What we see on the face of people are pain, complaint, denial, deprive, intimidation, terrorism.
You know, if you're suffering,
is it the way to live?
I know, but if you know you are suffering because there's lack,
certainly
you will bear it. But you are suffering in the midst of plenty.
Plenty.
They will be dropping names of
billions,
and then you don't get 1,000 to feed your children as a Nigerian.
No, thank you.
Now, we're about going. Let's round our place. What do you expect the NLC at this point to be doing? Because I listened to one thing that broke my heart in the House of Representatives. somebody raised the issue that the NNPC doesn't have the right to just wake up in the morning and just change the pump price of the or the fuel pump price. Okay, and they started arguing whether they should call them to a halt, that they should revert to the old price while we negotiate this new one. Okay. Do you know that the Speaker of the House put it to vote, and he asked them, those that support us to call NNPC to put it on a hold should say yes. They all said no.
They said no. So
can you imagine?
So who are they representing?
So at this point, who should talk? Because when you say that most of these politicians are businessmen in the oil sector, somebody that is by the way will not understand what's going on. That was when I really saw what's going on. Who is going to talk for the poor masses? Where is
when the representative are not interested in the interest of the poor?
Because they are not feeling it. Because they are not feeling the heat of the increase.
1 minute. Yeah, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. What's your name?
Morning.
Good morning. What is your name?
My name is Good Luck.
You are calling from where? Good luck.
I am coming from International.
From?
I want to ask a simple question.
Yeah, where are you calling from? I didn't get where your location is.
I am calling from Libya.
From Libya.
Wow.
Okay, beautiful.
Tripoli, you are welcome.
Go on.
Please, I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
All this money that the APC are discovering, what are they doing? Please, I need an answer to that.
Say all this money that what?
I'm a presenter.
Say all this money that what?
APC is accumulating.
When people are talking what Nigerian leaders are doing, it's as if we are discussing them. But that is the risk.
My dear,
I know, it's hurting.
if you want the answer, you ask the APC.
Honestly speaking, because we don't really know.
Ask Nigerian politicians. I don't even want to say APC.
We are as confused as you are.
Even this 8,000 naira that this palliative that they claim that they will give, at the end of the day, is this rich politician that will benefit from this 8,000 naira
They're
more?
still going to corner it.
Yes.
And push it into their own accounts. It won't trickle down to where it's supposed to go. It's a very pathetic situation. We must go, gentlemen, because somebody was just saying, a presenter said it in a national TV that the discussion Nigerian issue is giving him depression. Very, very unfortunately, but that's the situation. The more you talk about it, the more you get depressed. Okay, thank you very much, Tony Anebwe, for coming this morning. Engineer Tony Anebwe, thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear. That number I can name for listening and watching. And then, of course, on that number, somebody called from Libya. Is that? That's wonderful. Meaning we are global. Thank you very much.
And then, thank you, Imandi Ezanago, for coming too.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, my name is Sijama. You are going to join us in our next line of discussion as we look at the Nigerian persisting inflationary trends that is coming up very shortly. Thank you.